What's up guys? We're here at LiveKing headquarters editing the vlog that you're about to see. Today's vlog is going to be 5-10-20 no limit at the bike. Before we get into the action, we're debuting our website www.livekingpoker.com where we'll be selling merch. We're starting with shirts and caps. Check out one of our pro caps which you can wear during your tournaments to ensure your way to victory. But more importantly, we've got the LiveKing Summer Sweat. State Kings is helping me sell markup free action to you for the 2023 WSOP. This is really for fun. We're just getting a little sweat in. You can buy as little as you want, but we're gonna be capping the pieces as well to get as many people involved as possible. State Kings is charging a 5% fee. None of that goes to me. To buy action, click the link on my website. The password is gonna be ACEKing, one word, all lowercase. Additionally, you'll find a link to my Google Sheet, which details my 2023 WSOP schedule, showing all the bullets I intend to play. A lot of these will be overlapping and hopefully we'll make some day 2s and some day 3s, so we're not gonna be able to play all the bullets. So there will be refunds on bullets not fired. But let's not forget, the goal here is to bink. If we can get first place in one of these bracelet events, we can 750x our buy-in. I'm also gonna throw these links in the description below. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to hit me in the comments below or hit me up on Twitter. Lastly, big main event giveaway. Details coming in my next vlog airing May 21st, where I'll be giving away a bunch of my main event for free. All right, enough of the shilling. Let's get on to the poker. Let's get this action going with our favorite hand right out the gate. 60. We open to 60. And pick up a call from the small blind and the straddle. Two unknown players. Small blind could be a pro. He's a younger guy. He's played fairly aggressive so far, but the sample's very small. It's king 8-5, two spades, top pair, top kicker, and a backdoor flush draw. They've both checked it to us. And I start out with a size of 120. This is a pretty good flop, and there's a lot to get value from. Small blind quickly calls. And the straddle's gonna let it go. Heads up to the turn, and it's a 7 of clubs. Quick check from the small blind. I think this is a card I want to be checking a lot, so that's what I do. River's a queen of diamonds. And the young unknown aggressive player has gone with a gargantuan overbet of 490 into 430. Spades have missed. Some straight draws are there. King queen's there. I don't have a lot of information on this guy. I put in the call. We get the bad news. 8-7 offsuit turned us. It's two pair. And I learned some pretty good information here about my opponent. Probably not a professional with this play. Exactly 30 minutes after the last hand, we pick up ace-jack of diamonds in the big blind after buying the button. This hand starts out pretty peculiar. We've got a middle position limp, low jack over limp, and a hijack ISO to just 25 bucks. We want to play for more. That's not near big enough, so let's make it 135. Top left corner of your screen, villain from last hand, wastes no time. He calls. If it's good for 10, it's good for 135, and the two of us are going to go heads up. Flop is ace queen 7, two hearts, one diamond. We have top pair and a backdoor flush draw and a backdoor straight draw just in case. We start with a range bet of 120. And our opponent puts in the call. Turns an ace of spades. I think a lot of the young exploit kids would always bet here, but I like balance and go with a check. Quick check back from the middle position player. And the river is gin. Jack of hearts, front door flushes in, but more importantly, we've got a full house now. Here, I think it's a decision between betting very large and checking. And this time I check, hoping to spring a massive trap. And it's a bet of 600. Another overbet from this guy. He's got 2,000 behind his 600. Thus, I think we only have one option regarding sizing. We go Rip City all in, 2,600 effective, hoping the opponent has a flush or an ace he just won't let go of. He puts in the call.
And as he goes to muck his cards, he picks them up, shows us a 3 of hearts, so it's very likely this man had a flush, and we cooled him off on this river. A pot of $5,750. About an hour has transpired since our last playable hand. Here we've got a cutoff ISO to 80 facing a hijack limp, a button call, and what do you know? We've got number 1 in the big blind in a 5-10-20 configuration. We raise to 375. Hijack folds, cutoff calls, and button gets out of the way. Cutoff is an interesting player. He comes from Chicago, and he plays live at the bike, so I've got some reads on him. Flops 9-2-2-2 hearts, 1 diamond. We have the ace of hearts in hand. Big bet, and sometimes checking would be okay. This time we opt for the deceptive play and check. I've seen this player go ham before. He's not scared money. So far today, he's played pretty reasonable and solid. He does check, and the turn's a 10 of clubs. Again, I think we're in a similar spot to the flop. Betting on the bigger side, 50% plus, or checking would be okay. We go for a check again. An extremely tricky line with 2 aces, hoping to induce a guy who typically plays bigger stakes and plays aggro. He does eventually bet 650. This is what we were hoping for. Back in our shoes, I'm thinking we don't want to raise. We want to hope this guy blasts. Certainly having the ace of hearts in our hand is of great benefit in terms of the possible flush combos he could have. We go ahead and call. Looking for a clean river, and it's a 5 of clubs. Thus far, I've represented quite a bit of weakness, so I check for a 3rd time with my aces, hoping that our opponent will be bluffing here, thinking that we're pretty weak. But he puts out 1 yellow chip for $1,000. Now this has me ever so slightly confused. In my mind, this is a pure value bet. 1,000 into 2185 represents 0 bluffs. Now I have to decide, do I want to go for a raise with our wildly under-repped aces, or do I just want to call? I'm not too scared of pocket 10s. Pocket 9s would make sense, and of course deuces are there. Rivered pocket 5s make more sense than pocket 10s. And after a lot of thinking, I eventually pull the trigger and raise to 3,200 for value. Now it's back on our opponent, and I gotta think he's quite surprised by this. We checked 3 times, representing very little. He's gonna try to put the pieces together. I did kind of use a weird sizing here, only leaving the opponent $900 behind if he calls the 3,200. He gets curious and calls. And after we show, he pushes his cards forward, indicating our aces are good. And wow, an $8,500 pot. What a monster. Here we've already got our $400 out in front of us. This one starts out a little bit odd. I'm in conversation with a buddy from Vancouver. He's come up behind me, we're chatting, and I misclicked to 400 when I meant to make it 300. The cutoff's the opener, Iron called in the small blind, we're the 3-better. And now the cutoff wants to play for more. He makes it 900 to go. This is the same player we battled in the last hand and destroyed with our pocket aces. He starts the hand with about 3,400 total. Iron folds in the small blind. And with the action back on us, I certainly think shipping it all in and 5-betting would be okay. Calling is fine too, and probably what I would do mostly. Cutoff could be tilting pretty hard from that last hand we got tangled up in. Eventually, I mentally flip a coin and put in a little chip dance call here. We're gonna get a flop. Comes down ace 4-2 rainbow, and we quickly check. This is not the flop we're looking for. And he reaches top right corner of your screen and goes for a bet of 450. Back in our shoes, I think his bet is quite reasonable. Our hand is a little too good to give up. Raising is completely ridiculous. So we flick in a call. Hoping he slows down on the turn, we get a 5 of diamonds and check again. With 27-25 in the middle, goes for a bet of $900. Well, not a whole lot we can do here. He's fired 2 shells. We've got pocket queens, and I'm thinking, yeah, he probably doesn't have a 3, but ace 3 is possible sometimes. This guy is certainly no nit. Kinda wishing I had 5-bet all in now. We let it go. After the hand, the guy tells us, quote, I played it so bad, I had 5-3 suited. In this hand, Israeli Ron of Hustler Casino fame, Mr. Queen 2 himself, opens under the gun to 75. We've got pocket eights in middle position and put in the call. I like playing this as a pure set mine, facing the under the gun open of Iron. Button flicks in the call. He's been extremely active. We battled him in the first couple of hands of the day, and now the straddle raises it to 300. What I can tell you about this guy is zilch. It's his very first hand at the table. I'm completely readless. Iron's put in the call, and now we're getting an incredible price. We put in 225 more. The button's in there. We've got a call party. It's a 4-way 3-bet pot. Over 1,200 in the middle, and it's 874 rainbow, top set. We are sun running. And a $1,480 bet from the straddle. Iron mucks it, and now it's on us. The straddle has $500 that's currently in transit from the cage, so he's not all in just yet.
1480.
1480?
Yeah.
Button's got about 2,500 back. Therefore, we go for the call, hoping he comes along as well, but he quickly lets it go. The turn is a 4, giving us a near lock with eights full. He ships his remaining 500, and we call. He shows us pocket kings, which we've snapped, and the river's a jack of diamonds. Pocket eights are gonna be the best hand here, and we've earned ourselves another 5K plus pot. We've moved seats now, and we've got pocket jacks under the gun.
60.
Raise it up to 60. Hijack puts in the call, so does the small blind. He's a completely unknown player. Big blind calls as well. Straddle takes a price, and just 5 of us are gonna hit this flop. Here comes jack high. We've got top set on the wettest board of all time. 9-7 makes a straight, queen 9 makes a straight, and of course 3 clubs means anybody can have a flush. Small blind's donked for 30, and the big blind's called. Straddle calls, and here, raising seems ambitious at best. I don't think we want to bloat the pot. I think we just want to take a price. We put in the 30, and the hijack's the lone folder. Turns a big brick 4 spades. Small blind stays on the lead to the tune of 85. We get a big blind fold. Straddle really wants to get in there. He's thinking about it. Eventually lets it go. I think we're in the same spot that we were in on the flop. Let's call, take a price, try to hit. We don't. It's an ace of clubs, 4 clubs on board now, and the small blind fires for the 3rd time in a row for $125. I don't want to be his fish here and let him fry me. So I put in the fold, and we're moving on. The straddle is off in this hand. We've got king-queen offsuit, facing a cutoff open to 20, and a button call. Cutoff is the same guy who donked into us 3 times from last hand. I want to play for more, 120 to go. Fuck these guys. It's a call from the cutoff and the button. Well, that didn't work. Let's see if we can hit a little something something. It's ace 9-4 all spades, queen of spades in hand. I'm not one to want to bluff a ton 3 ways into 2 opponents, but this queen of spades seems key. We also block hands like ace king, and they showed a ton of weakness pre with a $20 open and a call. Let's go for a little bluff here. $95 is what I settle on. I like small bets on these monotone boards. Cutoff says yeah right, makes it 300. Button quickly folds. Facing this action, we would need the king of spades to continue, I feel like. Thus, this one heads straight into the muck. We've got ace 10 off on the button. Cutoff opens to 25. He plays calls, bigger raises, and smaller raises. I think we're ahead of the range in 3-bet to 80. Cutoff's in there quickly. And we're gonna head to a flop. Comes down 8-7-5 rainbow. That's no help to us. He checks. This guy gets to flops really weak, so sure he could hit this, but he's got tons of stuff in sequence. We put out 100, and he wants to see a turn. It's a 5 of diamonds. He checks. I think we should probably be checking here. We block hands like 10-9 and Jack-10, which we would be ahead of, and I'm not sure this combo makes much sense on the flop to bet and on the turn, or at any point in the hand, but I've said YOLO. Let's fire 300 into the range of a player who just has way too many weak combos. You could have hands like bad 7s or bad 8s. I'm just putting on the pressure here. And this time it works. Probably not the best played hand. Wouldn't recommend to myself to be doing this very much.
All right, guys, we're out here at the old bike parking lot tonight. Another 2023 session in the books, and another just, man, did I run good. I keep saying it. I just kind of like can't stop getting slapped by the deck. It's funny, I'm pacing my least amount of volume ever this year in cash because I'm busy with the vlog and we got commentary. I've been studying tournaments. I've been firing some tournament bullets. I don't know, I'm just busy in a way that I'm not used to. And I used to be the kind of person that would just bang out cash hours, like come hell or high water, it wouldn't matter. Like, we're just gonna play all the cash hours. This is how we make our money. And yet it still is and continues to be my sole money maker, my only money maker. My hours are just down, but when I play, things have gone so great. 5-10-20 was fire today. I passed on the 10-20. Outside of that, I mean, I got to play with Iron. That was fun. There were some characters in and out of the game. I don't really have much other than that. Be on the lookout. We got tons of news coming. We got big stuff. I'm getting excited for summer. Results. We were in for 3,000. We were out for 99.64. That's a profit of $6,994. Let's fucking go. Anyway, thank you as always so much for watching. I really appreciate it. We'll see you guys again soon. Don't forget to like and subscribe. LiveKing out.